All right, welcome everybody to the Student President Q&A. So in front of us we have 4 lovely candidates who are running for the role of Student President next year. So what I'd like to do to kick things off is just ask each of our candidates to introduce themselves. So their name and their manifesto aims. So if we start with Anne, would you like to introduce yourself?
So, hello, I'm Anne Latham. I am a catering and hospitality student. And the 4 main parts of my manifesto are based on education, because really that's why we're all here, so we want to make sure we have the best education possible. Activities, because I think there's so much more that the college can offer. Health and well-being, because I see it as something that we can improve on, because there is a little bit of not quite entirely healthy behaviour that I think we can make better. And lastly, charities, because I would like to set up a charities committee so that people not only can improve their CVs by having been on committees and organised events, but also so that we can choose charities that we feel the college can help fundraise towards.
Thank you. My name's Abby Murday and I am a second year student in my HND Year 2 business. My manifesto looks at Smash the Stigma. What I'm looking to do is promote better mental health for everybody at the college, so that includes staff, all the students. I think it's a really important focus and we can get away from that quite often. Life gets away from us, but you're at one of the most stressful points in your life when you're at college dealing with everything else outside, so I think that's important. I'd also like to do peer group support. So set up some groups to discuss things, build some resilience, heading out into the big wide world, and also I am looking to embrace respect within Borders College and embracing the diverse culture we have here. So I think that's very important as well.
Hi, my name's Jessica Elder. I am on the HNC Admin and Information Technology course, which is just 2 years behind Abby here. I also in my manifesto have got mental health at the extreme fundamentals of it, because me myself, I understand how devastating that can be upon a family, upon relationships, and if we get you at this young age, as it were, then you can go through the rest of your life knowing how to support yourself and knowing where to look for it. The other parts of my manifesto are about, I've forgotten, I'm so sorry. It's okay. My manifesto. Ooh, what is it? It's about mental health. And it's also on the principle of being able to say to somebody, how can I help you? So I read a book a little while ago and the entire principle was the person came into a new job and he just started saying, how can I help you? And he got things done left, right and centre, and it improved it so much. And I would like to bring that in so that we remove the door, the tartan door as it were, so that anybody from Newtown from here can just walk in and say, I have this problem, and I can turn around and say, well, I will fight to the back end to make sure we fix that for you. That's the general idea of my manifesto.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'm Kirsty Wilson, I'm Nat Ford Care, also lead rep for Health and Social. My manifesto is based on obviously promoting and making mental health more aware to not only Borders campus in Gala, but the other campuses surrounding, so Newtown, Isaac and Tweed Bank. Also make college a fun and safe place for all students, so they don't feel like they're coming to college and they don't want to be here, but obviously education is a massive place, obviously make sure there's support for not just students themselves, but the access students as well.
Great, thank you. So now we've heard from all 4 candidates on what their manifesto aims are. We've got 5 questions here, some of which were submitted by Borders College students. These are questions that will help us learn a little bit more about each of our candidates and what their goals and aims will be. So the first question, candidates, is why did you want to become a student president? So if we go to Anne first, if that's okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Do you mind if I stand up? I just feel a bit more
Absolutely.
comfortable standing up.
Feel free.
So, actually, the last time I was in this lecture theatre, it was about 4 years ago, and I was at a tax course put on by the Scottish Borders branch of the Chartered Institute of Taxation. Now, has anyone fallen asleep yet? Not quite. So, the chairman of the association talked with such drive and enthusiasm about the newly set up group. He was light and he was funny, but he was also really passionate. And I was inspired. I realised that I would never have that passion for working in tax. So I began to get back into catering and hospitality because that is what I had done when I was a student before, and that's what I had really enjoyed. So first I went as a duty manager of a hotel, and then I became the catering manager at Flores Castle. I came to college in August to learn how to be a chef, and I found my passion. I love the kitchen, and I go home each evening and straight into my kitchen at home, and I cook with enthusiasm. But more than that, I found a passion for the college itself. I found that students open up to me. I found that sometimes I can help in small ways, and I found that sometimes I can help in much bigger ways. I realised that there's so much more that I would be able to do for the students if I was elected student president. I want to bring lots more activities, groups, encourage participation and create a proper college community so that students can gain as much as possible from their time at college. I want to be the person who helps you to find your passion.
Thank you, Anne. Okay, Abby.
Okay, so I wrote a wee result. I'm extremely resilient, which has worked in my favour as I've been at Borders College for 7 years now in total. Each time it's been a completely different experience, and each time I've also been going through different stages of my life. At times it was tough, and quite often I didn't feel that I knew where to turn to. I thought, what about students who don't know where to ask for the help, or who don't know who to turn to, who don't feel confident enough to ask somebody who to turn to, which is when I decided that I was the right person for the job. I have worked in the working environment in management, and I experienced throughout the years as a student my passion and dedication to improve anything. So I worked as quality improvement to try and improve a business. We can do that at college as well. I believe that I'm the best person who will make sure that the student experience at Borders College is improved throughout the next year or two.
Thank you, Abby.
So, be honest with you, when the student president thing came up, it didn't cross my mind at first. And then a lovely lady in my class said that she thought I was brilliant at it. And that kind of stuck with me. So I thought, actually, this might be a really good opportunity for me to learn and develop. I went home and told mum and dad, and they were like, yeah, of course you should do it. And then my sister chimed in. Of course, as we know, sisters, they were like, oh, it's great. She told me that she was the student president when she was here in my same course. And I thought, this could become a legacy action. So I totally got in on it. And I am a strong-willed and super emotions kind of person. And now that I want it, because not only because my sister did it, but I also want to do it to help everybody, I just think I'd be good at it, and I would very much like your support.
Thank you, Jessica. Kirsty.
Obviously, I feel like I could bring happiness and changes to the college. I'm a very happy person. I'm there for everyone regardless. Even days I'm not at college, I'm also still contacted. I just want to make differences not only to Gala campuses, but obviously Newtown is a massive thing that wants to be changed, and just make sure that all students' voices are actually heard and their ideas are put forward. So not only do they make college a better experience for them, but it also makes me feel like I've actually achieved something more than just being a student.
Fab. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so the next question then, and I think we'll start with Abby this time, if that's okay. The question is, what would make you a good student president?
Okay, so I believe as student president 2019, the only thing that I can guarantee you is that you will not find anyone else with as much passion and dedication to enhancing the student experience. I'm extremely determined to change the perception of student president, that they don't implement things. We are there to support you, we are there to implement everything for you. And I'll strive to deliver the best services supporting students whilst I'm at Borders College. I'm extremely motivated and enthusiastic to take on the challenge that student president will bring, but I'm mostly excited about knowing that I am a good communicator. I can communicate with you, and if we can open those communication boundaries, we can bring improvements to the college.
Thank you very much. Okay, Jessica.
So again, I'm a strong-willed individual. I'm very passionate. I kind of stole that from another one. I was raised with a deep belief that if I can help somebody, I have the responsibility to help somebody. And that's really what I'm asking you for, is to entrust in me the responsibility to make sure that any changes that you guys want or could possibly think of, you give it to me. And then that's my little parcel that I have to make sure that I work as hard as I can every day to get that back to you. And I would make a great student president because I also don't like to let things go, which is not always the best thing, but I'm a bit like that. So once I've got my teeth into something, I want it, and I want it just as bad as anybody else. So that's why it would make me good.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Kirsty.
I feel like I'll be good as student president because I've got a lot of time for people. I'm always there, like I say, for anyone who needs it. Doesn't matter if they're on my course or a different course, I'm always at hand. I'm good at listening to people's ideas, and I always work hard to achieve my goals. I'll always put everyone else for myself, just to make sure their happiness and their safety is before mine. I think also raising 2 kids myself has came about loads of challenges, so obviously I've never gave up on them, so I'm not planning giving up on anyone in the student regardless of who they are or what campus they come from, and I'll always be available for support and advice whenever someone needs it.
Thank you. And Anne.
Well, I read the job description and I thought, yeah, actually, that's me. So, no, I'm just joking really. Imagine you're coming out of your class, it's 12 o'clock. Well, I was late out of my class today, but imagine it's 12 o'clock and you're heading out for a quick half hour with the BCSA joggers. Imagine spending the evening making biscuits to bring to the BCSA Coffee and Chat Club of lunchtime. Imagine rushing out of class at lunchtime to take your seat on the BCSA Charities Committee, where you can spend the next 45 minutes helping to organise the next BCSA Charity Dinner Dance. Imagine signposting students who may be struggling for food over the weekend to head to the BCSA Food Waste Cafe on a Thursday and Friday. Imagine getting up early on a Saturday morning to head into the Cheviots with the BCSA walkers and coming home exhausted and muddy, but really, really happy that you've achieved something that day. All these things and more are on my list of things to implement if I'm elected. My principles are kindness, honesty, and enthusiasm, and I want to infect the college with my own brand of positivity so that more students have the confidence to grab onto all opportunities that present themselves to them.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next question then. If you were voted as student president, what changes would you make to improve the student experience? And we'll start with Kirsty.
I would make sure that all students know about all the help and support that is available inside and outside the college, because a lot of people aren't aware of what kind of support the actual college has to offer. Me being one of them, it wasn't until recently that I actually found out. I'd always make sure it's available to them, and I will also go to classes in different campuses, introduce myself, explain what student president does, explain the roles of what you are as a student, what you can do, and obviously how I can make it a lot better for you to be in the education that you are, to follow your dreams and goals.
Thank you very much. Anne?
So, I'm actually going to open this one up to the floor. Would anyone like to tell me what they think about when they talk about community? Does anyone have any thoughts? What does community mean to you? Like,
Can we
Yeah.
answer?
of course. Sorry, I've got my back to you.
I like to answer questions. Community to me means like family and support and a structure.
Good. I like that. The Oxford Dictionary definition is the condition of sharing or having certain attitudes and interests in common. So students at Borders College are already a community by being at Borders College, but I believe that we can create a tighter community. I believe that we can create more synergy, empathy and enthusiasm. I believe that the students deserve more of a sense of community than we have at the moment. And I believe that an injection of enthusiasm and positivity can help create small groups of students with similar interests, like the clubs I was talking about earlier. There'll be crossovers between these groups. So one person that might go on the jogging club might also be on the charities committee. This will lead to the synergy required to create a better sense of community as more students get to know each other through the different clubs. This will result in support networks, professional networks, and enhance employment opportunities for students throughout their time at college and beyond. Have you ever heard, it's not what you know, it's who you know? Unfortunately, that does still happen, so we do need to keep networking, and I think if you elect me as president, I'll enable a lot more networking between students. I would also like to award a Student of the Month and have people nominate Student of the Month for whatever reason, whether it be fundraising or really knuckling down with their studies, whatever. I think that would create a bit of a buzz and be a good thing for that student to include on their CV.
Abby?
So the main improvement I want to achieve is to open up the communication lines between everybody in the college. I firmly believe that you as students deserve more, and I feel that I am the person who can introduce the improvements. When you are a student, it is tough to balance everything. With normal life alongside balancing outside life, your studies, even financial problems due to reduced income. We're here to help. The services are available, and I want to make it easier for students to access the support available to them. I want to ensure improvements are made in providing information about the support available and also how to access that support. I will also be looking to improve some of the fun activities at Borders College to coincide alongside our Smash the Stigma campaign. I want to carry out several events throughout the year to increase mental health awareness and look at ways of resilience building, because that is important going out into the real world after college. There's nothing worse than feeling isolated, and I just want you to know, as students, regardless of who is voted student president, you have fantastic candidates here, so somebody is here to help this year. Thank you.
Jessica?
So Abby is absolutely right. Any one of us is going to be a great asset to the college, and I think we'd all be extremely happy whoever does get voted in. A lot of our principles do seem to align, and I'm with you, Abby, on the fact that mental health is a huge thing at the moment, and I want to be able to build on the already strong mental health awareness. We have the Smash the Stigma campaign, and that is fantastic, it's amazing. But what if we did that every month, and we didn't just take it in at the college, and we took it outside on the streets for those who don't come to college or aren't aware of it, or if we made it sort of like a walk-in campaign where we got high schools involved and primary schools involved, and we made it like a massive thing for the Borders. And if we just expand on that basis, the amount of people and lives we could help with that, who doesn't want to help that? That's an amazing thing to do. The other thing for the students is I do believe that we need to create some sort of like life lesson classes, because when I moved out at 18, boy, did I make mistakes. And you don't understand when you go from living in a parent's house where everything in the cupboards just magically fill up to finding out that you actually have to do that for yourself. And if we could create some sort of evening classes for those who want to move out and give them the proper tools, the budget to work out how to do this, how to pay your phone tax and everything, phone bills, and budget properly, that would be a great benefit to any young person that wants to do that or is in need of moving out. Equally, I would like to hire or potentially open up the door for having designated people who are here for you. If you have financial problems, if you have mental health issues, if you're having issues of a different personal matter that don't just relate to the college. Because life is stressful, especially when you're doing this, but it's not just studies. It is everything, from money worries to relationship worries to just friendship falling out. If you had somebody that was impartial that you could go speak to, surely that would make a great thing. But that's one of the main things I'd like to do to help improve the students' ability at college.
Thanks, Jessica. Kirsty?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
It's gone twice.
Okay, so the next question then is a question about Newtown students. So we'll go back to Anne to start this one. So the question is, sometimes students at Newtown feel left out. What would you do to make sure this didn't happen?
I'm just getting up and down to get my extra steps in. I'm still in rainbow laces mode. So there are always challenges in any rural college that has multiple campuses. And it's especially pronounced here because we've got this one main campus at Galashiels, but we've also got Newtown, Tweedbank and Isaac. I'm not looking for the sympathy of vote, but I'm an expert in being left out. I'm an only child who was the only girl in her class right the way through my rural primary school. So I've always had to work that little bit harder to feel like I'm part of something. I don't know that I would have such a passion for Meccano if it wasn't for being an only girl in a class, but hey, girls can like Meccano and I love it. It means that I know how awkward it can feel to be left out. But I also know that it's really important to make sure that other people don't feel left out. I've already visited Newtown and ISEC quite a few times, and I went to Tweedbank last week. And that was great. It's a big old shed, and then you walk in and you're like, wow. Once you go down the scary corridor, it was fine. If I was elected, I would try and spend 1 day a week in Newtown and 1 lunchtime a week in Tweedbank and 1 at ISEC. I would ensure that the students there are given the opportunity to set up clubs for like-minded students on these campuses. I'll also fight for better catering facilities in these campuses, even if, in the case of Tweedbank, it's just a vending machine that has more than 3 packs of Revels in it, because that's not fun. If elected at enrolment and induction, I'll try and ensure that BCSA organises students to offer tours of the campuses so that anybody who wants to can have a tour and knows what's on offer. Work out where their rooms are in this bizarre building with room numbers that... Do the room numbers make sense to anyone else? Is it they make no sense to me? So I think it would just be really nice if you're first starting at college to know on your timetable where you're actually supposed to go, because it's so confusing. I think if I did that, I think it would relieve some of the anxiousness of freshers, whatever campus they're at, just so that they know where they're going to be asked to go. Borders College students are all Borders College students, and they should all have the same opportunities, regardless of what department, what campus, disability, sexuality, gender, race, wealth, none of it should matter. If you're a student, you should have the same opportunity as all the other students at Borders College.
So, I started at Newtown campus when I actually started college at 16, and it wasn't the greatest experience. If anybody's been to it before, it's got porta cabins, there are no facilities for hot drinks, the chairs and tables are broken. It's just not suitable. If elected student president, I'd be looking to have regular weekly or fortnightly scheduled appointments at Newtown campus. I would be catching up with the students whilst there, speaking with them, working on implementing improvements whilst working alongside management at Borders College to introduce the improvements. I want the students at Newtown to know that there will be protected time to ensure that there's a balance between the separate campuses. As a Borders College student, you're entitled to the same, so it kind of sounds like I'm copying Anne, but you are entitled to the same as everybody else, so that shouldn't matter, whether it's a hot coffee or comfortable seating. Just because you're studying something different, you're entitled to the same. So I want to make it more even across the board so that everybody is accessing the same facilities, they're accessing the same support. We just need to build a stronger community to access all of this information.
My speech ain't going to be much different than that, I'm afraid. I fully believe that there should be equality across the board, regardless if we're in rural or we're up in Edinburgh. We all are entitled to the same level of education. And it's not just about the courses that are taught, but it's where we're taught them. So if the facilities aren't good, fix them. If there's no hot catering, or if there's no reasonable expectation of a decent lunch, fix it. To me, that's not really like something that you have to sort of work at. It's like, well, get in there and fix it. I'm sure there's far more steps than that to go through, but my idea is, if we fix it, maybe that will help them. And I have every intention of any changes that I make here will be made across the board. If we get a person in here that is just to sit and talk to, there will be one at every Borders College campus. If we hold life classes, they'll be held at every Borders College campus. Even if that means they're sort of like a little travelling army of helpers, they will be held everywhere. And I fully believe that if we want the young people, me included, to succeed, then we all have to have them on an even playing ground to start with, because otherwise they're just going to have, you're just going to have unfairness going forward.
Obviously, catering is a massive problem. They're trying to promote this health eating at Newtown, but yeah, it's vending machines, no hot foods, no cold foods. They've got obviously access units going across on Tuesdays for soup and sandwich, still not enough. Obviously, I'd plan to go across twice a month once again, hold a surgery for the students, find out what it is that they're not enjoying at the college. Like you say, it's broken chairs, broken tables, it's not acceptable. I found out recently the library's a cupboard, and we've also got a brand new library over here, which isn't very fair considering every student here to study. Obviously, it's just to make sure that lecturers and staff are supported as well, because I had a few good chats with lecturers and they've not got the support that should be put in place for all lecturers and students. So obviously, it's just to make sure that Newtown, doesn't matter what course you're on, you've all got the support from whatever campus you're in, because you're 100%, you all get treated the same.
Thank you very much. Can I ask you all to give our candidates a round of applause for answering I think you'll all agree that we've got 4 fantastic candidates this year. I'm really excited to see how the election goes, and I wish every single one of them all the best of luck. Before we finish, I just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to ask any questions that you might have of our candidates.
Don't be shy now, we don't care.
Jamie?
One of the big things that I've realised about this role over the years is that, yeah, it's student facing, but one of the big challenges is how do you influence people who have money to do these wonderful things? Have you given any thought to that? How would you influence likes of the principal of the college or the library manager or the IT manager to get the things that you want?
Could I answer that first?
Go for it.
I watched a film called Shawshank Redemption once, and he wrote a letter twice a week, every week, until they gave in. And I truly believe that's the way to do it, because if I bother you enough, you're going to give me what I want.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that is a great principle in life, to just keep going. And you know, what's wrong with asking? I mean, asking a million times will get upsetting, but eventually I'll get what I want. So, it's my answer.
100% agree with you.
Thank you.
It is. You obviously just got to ask them. Obviously, you show them what improvements you can make, and it's just to benefit them basically. It's obviously the more you ask, the more you're going to get. Shy Bairns getting out.
I like it.
If you don't ask, you don't get, and that's what I've lived by. I find it really interesting that there's all these posters up now saying, from Harriet Watt saying, "Say aye to Dubai." Well, I studied here at Harriet Watt 10 years ago, more than that. I did business management here, and I looked and said, "Look, you've got a campus in Dubai that runs the same course. Like, I'm sitting in Gala. Can I go to Dubai?" No, I've got my accommodation sorted. I could really go to Dubai. And I was the very first Scottish student that ever nagged enough to get from here in Gala to Dubai. So I studied in Dubai. So from that point on, I worked out, if you don't ask, you don't get, but keep trying and it will come right eventually.
Again, there's not really much I can sort of add to that. I think there also needs to be a balance. We can't just nag and keep persisting. Obviously, yes, we need to come back and forward, but if your strategy is not working, getting the implementing or the funding in place, then we need to bring in another strategy to see how it can be implemented. It's not a simple thing getting people to understand, but if you're passionate enough and you continue to go for it, and if it's not working one way, do it another way, then you will eventually get what you want at the end of it.
Fantastic.
Does anyone else have any questions for our candidates?
To be honest, the one about our favourite animals, because I'm really interested to know.
Sure. What are your favourite animals?
Anne, would you like to start?
Wow. Well, the one that I had in my head was, if you were an animal, what would you
would
be?
Oh, sorry. Okay, my apologies. I totally got that
Is that
wrong.
the same question,
was,
or
yeah.
would you like a
Yeah.
different question?
No. Let's stick with that one. Sorry.
Okay. I had to think